The sky split open with lightning. Zeus ascended to the high throne of Olympus, becoming the new king of the gods. The war was over, and the Titans were locked away in Tartarus. The world was finally peaceful, yet empty. The mountains were silent, the earth barren, and only the wind howled across the wasteland. At the edge of the clouds, the Titan Prometheus gazed quietly at this new world. He did not smile. Instead, his brows tightened in worry. Zeus stood upon the palace balcony, lightning dancing at his fingertips. Zeus coldly. The world is stable now. A victorious king has no need to rush into creating anything more. Prometheus answered in a low voice. Prometheus. But Zeus, what you've built is a world for gods, not a world for life. Zeus turned his sharp eyes toward him. Zeus. Life? You speak of those fragile, insignificant creatures who can't even survive a single cold night. Prometheus did not back down. Prometheus. Being weak does not mean being meaningless. Fire itself began as a small spark, yet it can light the night. Zeus fell silent for a moment, but still replied with the tone of a ruler. Zeus. When the world has settled further, I will create life as I see fit. But not now. Prometheus's gaze turned cold. To him, Zeus's new order was too lofty, too distant, too detached from the earth. Late at night, Prometheus secretly went to the riverbank. Under the moonlight, he knelt on the muddy ground and pressed his hands into the wet soil. The clay took shape in his palms, shoulders, a chest, a face. A fragile creature, yet beautiful in proportion. Prometheus softly. What I give you is not power, but a chance. He leaned forward and breathed life into the clay figure. Its chest rose slightly, and its eyes slowly opened. The first human was born. Then the second and the third. By dawn, they wandered along the riverbank like newborn children. Prometheus watched them and smiled for the first time. Zeus eventually noticed the strange beings on the earth. He descended upon a mountaintop, looking down at the shivering creatures warming themselves with stones. Zeus mocking. This is the creation you're so proud of? They can't even survive one night. Prometheus replied calmly. Prometheus. They will learn. They will grow. The world does not need perfect beings. It needs hope. Zeus frowned. Something in Prometheus's tone felt like a challenge to the authority of the king of gods. Zeus. Hope? Hope will not keep them alive. Prometheus looked at the humans trembling in the cold, and a sharp pain rose in his heart. Prometheus whispering. Then I will give them the power to survive. Night deepened. The halls of Mount Olympus glowed faintly in the mist, like a burning white fortress. Prometheus knew this light well. It came from the greatest taboo in the realm of the gods. He climbed along the cliffside, slipping into the inner sanctum of the divine palace. Even the winds seemed to stop, as if aware that he was committing a crime. Two radiant guardians stood silently outside the temple, their armor gleaming coldly in the moonlight. Prometheus held his breath and crept along the shadows. Every step felt like stepping on the tail of lightning. One wrong move and the heavens would awaken. He understood clearly. If Zeus caught him, not only he, but humanity itself would be annihilated. Suddenly, the sound of metal echoed from afar. The remnants of Hephaestus's forging. Prometheus stopped, pressing his back against a cold stone pillar, listening. Footsteps approached. Who's there? A guard's voice sounded from the darkness. Prometheus clenched his fingers and remained still. He called upon ancient Titan magic, blending his form into the shadow of the pillar. The guardian's glowing orb swept past him, only an inch away. One more step to the left, and he would be discovered. The light receded. Prometheus finally exhaled, sweat forming on his forehead. Seizing the opening, he rushed into the forge of the fire god. The great flame at the center burned like a captive sun, bound by divine power, never to extinguish. Hephaestus's tools lay scattered around it, each burning with molten heat. As Prometheus reached out, the flame noticed the theft. It lifted its blazing tendrils and let out a low, furious hiss. Prometheus whispered, "Quiet. I'm not here to harm you. I'm here to wake the world from its darkness." Risking being burned to ash, he forced his titan strength into the heart of the flame. The fire twisted in agony, but at last he seized it. Thunder rumbled from the distance outside the temple. Zeus had sensed something. Prometheus sprinted down the mountain. The stolen fire glowed in his palm, lighting his breath and tense face. A storm erupted. Clouds churned like enraged beasts. Lightning carved white scars across the cliffs. Each bolt seemed to roar. "Who dares touch my fire?" Prometheus did not look back. He knew the storm was chasing him. At last, he reached the ground and placed the fire into human hands. The flame leapt upward, a radiant cheer in the night. It illuminated the human's eyes, and it illuminated Zeus's coming wrath. At dawn, the first ray of sunlight pierced the horizon, and the sky instantly darkened. Storm clouds gathered, pulled together by a wrath so intense it twisted the heavens above Olympus. Lightning tore through the sky like roaring dragons. Zeus appeared at the center of the storm. His eyes blazed with pure thunder, like two burning stars. His rage shook the world. Tides crashed violently against the shores. Animals fled in terror through the forests. Massive stones rolled down the slopes of roads. Chains rattled in the depths where the titans were bound. Even distant volcanoes rumbled with smoke. This was no ordinary anger. This was the wrath of the King of Gods, strong enough to unmake the world. Standing before the temple, Zeus shouted with the force of 10,000 thunderclaps. The U.S. Prometheus stood atop a peak, hair whipping in the storm winds, yet unafraid. Zeus roared, "You stole the sacred fire of the gods. You shattered my order. You gave weak, lowly mortals a power they should never possess." A colossal lightning bolt lit half the world. Prometheus shouted back, "Order? Your order is eternal night, coldness, death. If the gods refuse to give light, then I shall become the fire that defies them." Zeus's fury exploded. Snow vaporized into mist. Boulders shattered, and the sky split with a harsh white flash. The earth trembled as if terrified of the god-king's rage. Zeus slowly raised his hand, lightning condensing into a blinding orb in his palm. But then, his fury cooled. A dark, sinister smile took its place. Zeus menacing. "You care too much for humans, do you? Then watch. Watch how they use your fire to destroy themselves." The storm abruptly fell silent. The world seemed to freeze. From the heart of the storm came Zeus's decree. "I shall craft a source of calamity and gift it to mankind. A beautiful, lethal blessing." In the distance, a soft light took shape. A woman's silhouette emerged from the glow. Pandora. The earth fell silent. True disaster was drawing near.